Hey, everyone.
Everyone meet Ski, Chris's
Hello.
dad.
Hi there.
So
We're going to review the most talked about movie, Howard the Duck.
Yeah, not a theatrical movie. This is one we just got on DVD. If you can see it.
yeah, we decided to take a break from doing theater stuff, but yeah, this was an interesting experience, and mostly just brought on by the fact that George Lucas produced it.
Yeah. And he's not making that up. According to the back of the box, this is one of the most talked about movies of all time. Let's see. It says, from the executive producer George Lucas, in the pages of the Marvel Comics comes this unbelievably funny comedy about a fast-talking, cigar-chomping, beer-loving duck from a parallel universe who crashes to Earth. Howard the Duck Special Edition is a hidden treasure the whole family can enjoy.
How can you not be hooked in?
Unbelievable is a perfect description for the movie. Little brief history. It seems that Christopher here, the young movie reviewer Christopher, had stumbled across some reviews of movies, and I had told him about this incredible movie from that Marvel comic, Howard the Duck. And he said, but the reviews of the reviews that he read about the reviews said that the movie was bad. And I said, but Christopher, have you seen the movie? No, I don't need to see the movie to know that it's bad.
Is that not the point of reviews, to keep you from watching bad movies?
No, it's just expression of opinion from one individual about set material. It doesn't necessarily have to be a universal. Yeah, you saw all the negative crap that everyone said about Suicide Squad. Did you still like that movie after? Exactly.
So, for Christmas, Christopher got me Howard the Duck, and we've been waiting for the opportune time to watch this movie. We have a perfect time this afternoon with my co-art here, Tom, in full agreement with me on the movie. So we watched the movie, and it was everything we expected it to be.
And more.
And Christopher was left speechless.
Well, not necessarily speechless. You were still talking during some of the movie.
One of the features of the movie was the main character is a duck, and that led to some duck puns. And Christopher is a fan of puns.
He's the biggest fan of puns.
Oh my God, you two shut up, okay? When the opening shot of this movie, I mean, besides the city, is the rolling egg in parody of the Rolling Stone, along with Duck Casablanca. What did it say?
I don't know what it said, but it looked exactly like the poster for Casablanca.
Little chickadees.
No, Raiders of the Lost. It had a parody of movie poster of Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Raiders of the Lost Egg or whatever.
Yeah.
No, Beakers, Raiders of the Lost Stork.
Right.
Raiders. See.
The tone of the movie was set perfectly out front.
Oh, it's one of the most tongue-in-cheek movies.
One of the hidden gem performances by none other than Mr. Is it Phil? No, it's not Phil.
It's Phil Z.
Phil Z. Tim Robbins.
Oscar winner, Tim Robbins.
Yes, thank you for tainting one of my favorite actors.
Tim Robbins is ruined.
Retroactively.
He is only known as Phil Z. Because that's what Howard constantly calls him during this.
And Leah Thompson that looks like she's about 17.
Oh,
yes.
And this is after the Back to the Future movies. Because Back to the Future wasn't, well, not movies, just the first Back to the Future. Back to the Future was in 85. This was in 87. So yeah, she looks younger in this movie than she did in the other one. Probably because she got her glam hair metal band going on. And, oh yeah, this movie also likes to do everything. Parallel dimension jumping duck, science babble sci-fi movie, and apparently it's also a musical movie too, because it's about a rock band. The very thrown in Leah Thompson
They
rock
sing
band.
2 songs in this whole movie, okay?
Still counts. Howard the Duck.
And those movies, the songs fit into the movie really well.
Oh, they fit
Well, I'd like to
perfect.
thank Christopher and Tom for letting me relive the 80s and going back to when we first saw this movie in the movie theaters, and it was a big deal when we saw it.
The most talked about movie.
So they can continue with their expert reviews of this movie, and I'm sure their insights will lead you to want to go watch this movie also.
hell
so
yeah.
I'm going to cut out now and let them do what they do. Thank you.
No problem. And thank you very much, Ski, for this.
Thanks a lot, Dad.
Okay, yeah. I'm with Ski on this. I thought this was awesome.
And I'm with the rest of the world. This was terrible.
Jesus Christ. How, but why are...
Okay, maybe not. Okay, I mean, I see this movie at the top of a lot of like worst movies of all time list. Okay, maybe not that far. I wouldn't go that far. with
Not
it.
even close.
But still, you know, this isn't like some hidden gem of the '80s. This is a turd of the '80s that should have stayed there. Look, all right. I can understand where some people can get behind this movie's levels of ridiculous, similar to Storks, about how I was kind of torn between it being fun, ridiculous, or just kind of like bad, stupid.
Storks still had some of a serious... Well, they still tried to take itself seriously.
This movie is so obnoxious and annoying. It's hard for me to have fun. It's like... I don't know. It's like the equivalent of a clown that's like trying to blow an air horn in your ear, or a clown that just comes up to you and starts juggling. Like, which one are you gonna take?
Actually, well, I take juggling because juggling's cool and it doesn't harm you like the air horn would.
I get that it's not striving to be anything more than just the ridiculous fun time with a duck as the hero of the story and everything, but still, you could have found some breaking point for, oh god, the puns, the jokes, and this movie could also benefit from some better acting.
No.
Some of the acting in this movie is like just astoundingly awful.
And, well, okay, my general opinion, yes, I can't call it anything but a dumb movie, but it's one of the best dumb movies. I just saw the tongue-in-cheek tone of it, and also, it went full retard. For those of you who haven't seen Tropic Thunder, they just go on the description of not going full retard. And they were dissecting the Oscars because Dustin Hoffman and Tom Hanks both won Oscars for playing retards, but dignified and not full retard. Sean Penn did full retard with I Am Sam, and that's where the expression "never go full retard" comes in. But stuff like this, where you have to amp up everything and to go full retard, then you go full circle into being amazing. The acting in this is so over the top and so hokey. We talked about two big actors, Leah Thompson and Tim Robbins. Jeffrey Jones, the Dean from Ferris Bueller and from Beetlejuice, and I'm not sure how many other Tim Burton movies.
He is honestly what turned the movie into a genuinely unpleasant experience for me.
He turns into an alien and he has to change his voice the whole time. He literally talks like this.
He sounds like a Garbage Pail Kid. Yes, that's exactly it.
Oh my god. Imagine if the Garbage Pail Kids and Howard the Duck combined together into one movie.
Oh god, that is a match made in hell. But there's also other things that I don't know if the movie's trying to have an edge to it, but it just kind of comes across as gross and hard to watch. Where this bit where he's kidnapping Leah Thompson's character, and they're driving in a semi. And he's falling asleep like, I need more power. And so he opens his gob wide open, and then giant tentacle.
It becomes a hentai.
Yeah, giant tentacle plugs into the cigarette outlet. And then he
gets juiced up. It's Crank before Crank.
Yeah. Oh.
So Crank ripped this off in some way, shape, or form.
So yeah, and that's he gets more and more deformed as the movie goes on, which granted I'll give it that it's got some decent effects to it, but still it's just hard to look at. It looks repulsive, to be honest. And that in combination with his voice just makes it the kind of thing I just want to stop watching. Like, make it stop. Speaking of effects, let's talk a little bit about Howard the Duck himself. I know I bitch a lot about how animatronics have come out of how Hollywood nowadays, and everything's CGI now, and that's kind of annoying. But man, the duck costume in this movie is an eyesore for me.
That's actually one thing I didn't like about it. The design was a little lazy, and
he has no texture to him. That's the weird thing about it.
And his mouth only opens like a little bit whenever he needs to. And I guess because Duck's small person, they had to have a midget in a costume. But the only thing he ever does when he ever tries to just scare people is just throws up his arms. If you watch it again, he just throws up his arms and goes, beat it. We've reached a stalling point.
I don't know what else to say that hasn't already been said about this movie a million times. I don't know, really. Honestly, this is probably just my dad's way of getting back at me.
No, it's not. I still liked it, but there are I knew I couldn't take this movie seriously right away because
I should mention I don't have to take the movie seriously. I could still just have a dumb fun time, but I can't have fun when it's so unpleasant or just so unfun. I know that's stupid criticism, but I mean, like, things just are not as interesting or engaging as the movie wants it to be. Like, when there's this one scene where he's in a bar and he's supposed to have, this is one of Howard's supposed badass moments, where he's talking to Leah Thompson's manager and he's like, "Give me the money." And they're like, "What is this thing?" and everything. And he lights a cigarette, or he strikes a match on his beak and lights up a cigar and everything. He's like, it's like, was this gonna be easy or is trouble? Like, again, it's a combination of a lot of things: the pacing, the acting, the animatronic. It all just kind of works against it. That should be, really, it should be a badass scene, but it's just not. It doesn't work. Even in the realm of this movie's craziness, it doesn't work. On top of a lot of other things, like Leah Thompson being...
she's hot for a duck.
Yeah. into Howard the Duck.
Bestiality. Yay. That goes full circle into being so stupid and goddamn insane that it's hilarious. But yet they don't do anything. It's just teased or whatever. Still look. I actually laughed at it just because of how ridiculous it was. And like, okay, the review or whatever that Chris's dad was talking about, yeah, we both watched the Nostalgia Critic review of this, and obvious bad movie, but yeah, again, I've recently seen other like famously bad movies. I've seen The Room. I've seen Deadfall. I've seen this now. What other ridiculous, stupid movies can you think of that you've seen at least?
Some stuff that my dad showed me, like Ice Pirates.
I want to see Ice Pirates.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do. I absolutely want to see Ice Pirates.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and Howard the Duck. This one, Chris got this, and what were the other movies?
It was Ice Pirates, Howard the Duck, The Black Hole, and Silent Running. Now, Silent Running was actually pretty good. I like Silent Running.
Okay, I gotta see that too. But yeah, but it is for me personally, at least, it is necessary to see bad movies like these so you can at least have like a full spectrum of what is still considered like quality or good, or at least entertainment versus non-entertainment. And I was still very entertained by this. Yeah, it was a fun sit, and Tim Robbins is hilarious because he's such a manic little doofus. Jeffrey Jones is hilarious just because of how over the top he makes his transformation into being the alien. He looks like near the end of his transformation, he looks like a sickly Albert Einstein. Yeah, I was mostly laughing at this, but there were also some points I was laughing with it. It is a roller coaster of stuff. And one of the only other complaints, though, it is like kind of long, though. It's almost
like an eternity.
It was almost 2 hours.
Oh my god. It's just too much. For me, it's too much. There's some movies where that like its craziness only goes so far, or even its badness only goes so far to where you could still kind of, ironically enjoy it, but to me, everything was working against this movie. Despite having some decent talent backing it up, supposedly, I know it's questionable with George Lucas because this is post Star Wars
and Raiders.
But still, it just was not fun and very unpleasant. That to me is the breaking point of bad movies, where I can no longer say it's so good it's bad. It's when it's just unpleasant.
Not so good it's bad. So bad it's good.
Or yeah, you're right. So I'm sorry.
It's ruining your thinking.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my. I don't really think we need to disrecommend it or recommend it at this point. I mean, I guess if you are curious as to what some people would call one of the worst movies ever made.
Yeah, and the only thing that's holding this movie down is hype. Just the hype of it, and this has become a cult classic more or less simply because of its cheese factor as well, and also it is a huge throwback to the 80s. Because
this movie is very, very 80s. So 80s that I didn't get a lot of stuff.
Yeah, the wardrobe, the glam metal hair band or whatever, Leah Thompson's band, and yeah, Howard is their manager at the end and does a guitar solo to his own song, Howard the Duck, which I could not stop singing. While we were watching the end of this, it was amazing. But I still just had a lot of fun watching it, and I'm sort of on a bad movie kick right now. Even though the last few bad movies I saw were the first Scary Movie and American Pie Presents Beta House. That one is awful. But I am sort of finding a silver lining with these bad movies and how other people can just hate them, but somehow find an entertaining experience out of it. Sort of refreshing.
But yeah, Howard the Duck, just fuck it.
A man swings so far below 0 that becomes a 10 again for me. Him, it's just all too much, all too it all too packed into one. If you're absolutely curious, rent it, find it. It's not going to be on Netflix, which his dad was constantly telling him.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh, let's find it on Netflix. Find it on Netflix. It's not it's not popular enough to be on Netflix. Mm-hmm. It's only for the niche cult classic people. Mm-hmm. But I'm glad I found it and saw it in its oh so 80s glory.
Yeah.
So
yep. Hope you liked our little retro review. We might do more.
yeah, throw in once in a while, but only if it's special like this one.
Yeah.
Hopefully there will be bigger releases next week in theaters.
Yeah.
Because I'd like to get back into seeing some new stuff.
Until then, bye everyone.
Later.